What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about why you're not up for that promotion. I want to talk about what's stopping you from getting that promotion when you work under a narcissistic boss and when you work with narcissists. A lot of times they're teaming together to go up against you in a way where they speak badly on your name, so that people will think that maybe you're not qualified enough for the new position. Well, for a new position for you, for the promotion. And I've seen that happen with narcissists and the narcissistic boss who will side with the narcissist because, they stay in their ear. They're constantly with the smear campaign, not only with the other colleagues and co-workers, but also with the boss. They're constantly in the boss's office going against your name. And they do this, particularly at the time when they know that you can be up for a promotion. So that's when that promotion is blocked. Only on the strength of the smear campaign, a bunch of lies told on you. Because what makes you qualified is how well you do the job. You go above and beyond. You do way more than what you're asked. You never have any negative feedback about the work. It's not too much for you. You're willing to stay an extra hour. You're willing to do the overtime with no pay. All of those things are fine with you. And the boss knows this. But at the same time, the boss is listening to the things that the narc coworker is saying about you. And they make up lies all the time. They could be making it seem like, that you don't want the position. I mean, who's going to turn down a position that you are overly qualified for? And of course you need the money. That's why I said God knows I need the money on my community posts. So I'm just going to throw that little hint in there. And also, when the boss is a narcissist, you have to look at how your work habits threatens the boss. The person who's higher up above you, a higher rank. The person who has the credentials because they got the education, they went to school for things that you didn't even go to school for, and you caught on to it without any educational training. You just caught on to it. And a lot of times, jobs nowadays, a lot of it don't require, long-term education. Like, you don't have to go to school for 4 to 6 years for a lot of things that I do. Now you can just be appointed for the position. But when that boss doesn't appoint you for that position, it's because in some type of way they feel like you are a threat to them. A narcissistic boss is still a narcissist. Before they even got the job, they were narcissistic. And of course they carry the traits as all narcissists do. You threaten them. They want to be in a lead position, so they got the position. But why doesn't that satisfy them? Why aren't they still happy? Why do you still feel like a threat to them? Well, like I say, you wear it so well, everything you do. It's like all of the weight that's on your shoulders, you make it seem easy. You make it seem like it's lightweight to you. You can handle it. You can do your job and theirs. And on top of that, you have the attitude to go with it. They would expect you to always gripe and complain about what you do because that is what they will do. And they just feel like putting that on you is something that, something that because you can handle it, you deserve to be treated a certain way. And because of that, they're jealous of you because of it. They hate your strength. Narcissists hate to see how well you can handle things. They hate to see that you're handling being under pressure from all of the negative feedback you get at work. You just go on with the day. And the narcissists feel that way because they can't handle it. So it's also a jealousy thing amongst the narc boss and the narc coworkers. And so that's what's holding you up from getting that promotion, because they feel like, well, if they get this promotion, it's like they're getting recognition for something that I feel like I should get the recognition for. And then not only that, you deserve it. Like, you earned it. You have been more than dedicated to this job for almost 20 years. And you just feel like that it should be a given based on your attitude and how humble you have been. And on top of that, the narc just feel like that, how hard they had to work to get where they are, that you should have to work that hard as well. But they fail to realize that you have worked that hard, doing the hard labor, doing the labor work, on top of the fact that you know how to do a lot of other things that, again, you didn't get the educational training for. And so that just makes them feel guilty. They feel threatened by the fact that you could be up next for a position because there's no one else in line for it. And so this is when they have to kind of gang up on you, because it's nothing worse than a narcissist, well, worse to them, that they can't bring you down on their own. They have to form a gang up against you with other narc individuals, because that makes them feel most powerful up against you. And it's sad that it takes all these people to go up against one person and they still can bring them down. So again, that's why you may be threatened as far as getting that promotion. Not saying that you won't get the promotion, but I'm just saying there are things that'll be in your way when you're dealing with a job, a toxic environment at work. When you're dealing with toxic people, they're going to try to stop you from getting it the easy way. And you have went along for all these years, just doing what it is that needs to be done without any complaints. And so you do feel like, well, yeah, I do deserve it and I need it. I need the money. I can just see things getting much better from me, financially. And even though you may not be in a horrible place financially, but just think of what comes along with that promotion money-wise, how much better things could be for you. And the narcissists, they don't want to see that for you. Narcissists are very jealous. They don't care anything about you being well off financially or anything. They don't care about things like that. All they care about is supply. And as long as you continue to work and be that slave for the narc, you will continue to be threatened for that new position, for their promotion. That's just how they operate. The narcissist will never be happy no matter what. And it can prolong you, by them doing all the things that they can to block that from you. Only man thinks that way. Man thinks that they're in so much control over things. But see, they fail to realize that there is a God, and God has the final say so. God will move you from the back of the line to the very front of the line. I've seen it happen. He make ways out of no way at all. I've seen it happen. I am a witness to all of that. So I don't feel like, well, you're stopping me from getting something that my heart desires. I just feel like if, I talk to God every day and I just tell him, if this is for me, open the door. If it's not, close it. Because I feel like that God is not going to put more on us than what we can handle. But I really feel confident in knowing that I can handle a higher position with more responsibility. I feel like I can handle it because I already do it. I'm just not getting the pay. I do some of it. I don't do it all. So just imagine knowing, some of what I will be going into and only have just a little bit more to train on it. So it wouldn't be much. It wouldn't be much added on. And then I'm up for it. Like, I'm all for it. I'm open to it. I receive it. This is just something that I really desire. And I've been wanting it for a long time, not only to be moved, but to be moved in this higher position. So the thing about it is, as long as you're in a toxic workplace, people are going to try to stop you from getting your blessings. But again, God has the last say so and the final say. So when it is meant for you, you just have to start talking to God more, trusting God more, be around people who are motivating to you, and, surround yourself with positivity, like people who just, people who say all of the right things that, it aligns with your circumstances, not people who just tell you what you want to hear. Like people who will let you know, like, are you sure that this is something that you really want? Just people who going to keep it real with you at all times. Because if you don't, like toxic workplaces, it can really bring you down. And then you have to be there every day, and you constantly seeing people going up, and you're staying in the same spot all the time, and you know that you deserve it, and you don't think that it's a punishment from God that you're not receiving it. So what is it? Surround yourself with people who can kind of shed a light on what may be going on with you, because sometimes we may know a lot about what's going on with us, but we might not know enough to really be able to get closure from it. That's why it is good to talk to people sometimes and be around, open-minded, positive people. And I don't mean positive as in just, like sell your dream and just tell you everything you want to hear, because that's one thing I do not like. That's something that I do not believe in. Like, keep it real with me at all times, even if it hurts my feelings. It probably needs to hurt my feelings, because that's probably all a part of, growing. And speaking of growth, as long as you're under toxic, supervisors, or your chain of command is just holding up this stone wall up against you, you can't get over it, you will never grow. You will never learn. You will never get from out of that spot. And it is very frustrating. And who wants to feel like that day in and day out when you know that you deserve better? And not only that, you earned it. So that's why you may be, you may not be able to get that promotion. So, yeah, that's just something to think about. That's something that came to me because I pulled up to work the other day, and I'm just sitting out in the car drinking my coffee before I went in. And I'm looking at my surroundings, and it just came to my spirit like, I'm looking at, not to, base it off of material things. I'm looking at it like, okay, I see everybody just based on everyone's cars. Everybody's cars is parked up, in the parking lot before we go into work. And I'm noticing that everybody have like really bad problems going on with their vehicles. Some of them, their cars have let them down. Some of them, their cars on the last leg. People just having a lot of car problems right now. And then it's getting close to Christmas. For those of you who celebrate Christmas and everything like that, it's like that's a really big downer for people who are not only worried about how they're going to get back and forth to work, but also how they're going to make things better for their family during the holidays. But it's just so much that I was thinking about. Like, if you just look at everybody's cars, the only one who had the best vehicle, is the chain of command. It's the person who's in charge of everything. But everyone else is riding in buckets and just having a really hard time right now. And I just feel like that until you, like, and I've been to some other schools where it's the total opposite, like not the opposite as far as the boss having the best cars. Everybody is on the same level. Like, everybody is up. You see everybody being blessed. And it's like, why are the blessings constantly passing me by? And you sometimes just start to question it. Sometimes it just comes to you. And I feel like that's God putting it on your spirit to let you see that there's something big in store for you. There's, like they say, a blessing with your name on it. And in my situation, it will be a huge blessing with my name on it to get this promotion. But I know the type of work environment that I'm in. At the same time, I know that God is bigger than all that. And I'm standing on it like I really believe that. But that's just something to think about, why you may be blocked from getting that promotion, or what's in the way, or what's delaying the process. Because for me so far, it's been a delayed process. And by the middle of next week, I will know for sure what the deal is. And of course, I'm going to give y'all the update on everything. But I just really hope that I can get it. So that's pretty much all I want to talk about in this video. Y'all leave y'all thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh yeah, something else that I forgot to mention. Narcissists have a way of, again, they form an alliance against you with people who can bring you down because, you're a very powerful person. And it frustrates them when they can't bring you down, when they can't destroy you on their own. So what they do is get other people, like-minded individuals, to help them to bring you down. And it's like, what's the point? Like, you see that it's not making me budge. The fact that you are making it so obvious that you are really trying to hurt me, it's laughable, because it's not going to work. If it didn't work when you were doing it on your own, it's not going to work when you get other people to do the same exact thing. Like, nothing you can say can hurt me. Well, I'm not going to say hurt, because people do have feelings, and they can say some really cruel things that can really hurt you. And I'm not going to say that I've never been hurt by things, because it's not so much of what they're saying, it's the reason why they're doing it. It's what hurts me. But I don't show it. I don't show it on the strength of just, keeping my composure. I just don't show it, I just toughen up, and I don't let them know that, it hurts me what you're doing. Not so much what you're saying. But to give an example really quick, this is going to be just a short version of the video. It's like, and I know y'all have heard this a lot of times. I mentioned a lot in the videos, but okay. You got your favorite football team, and the narc has a favorite football team. And right now, my team is doing horrible. Like, we at the very bottom of the division. A lot of times, the division is the worst, and we still end up at the top of the division, probably with chances of going to the playoffs sometimes. Talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, that's my favorite football team. Always have been, always will be. And I don't care how bad the season is and how many years to come with them just, giving us nothing to be excited for. I'll always be a Dallas Cowboy fan. But I can accept the fact that they're horrible and they're doing really bad. I can accept it. I can, and it's like the narc, they like to make these statements very loud, to say things like, it's not hurting me. I know this. I can tell you how bad they are. Would you like to sit down and have a conversation about it? That's not going to happen because of the no contact rule, because of the boundaries. If we're not talking about work relations, we're not having a conversation at all. The narc hates this, so they know something that I really enjoy. And they like to throw it up and have conversations with other people. I live here in Louisiana. This is a New Orleans Saints, state. And it's like, my team is in Texas. And so, of course, they're going to have more people at my job, probably more than likely. You might have one or two Dallas fans, in a Louisiana state at a job. And then you're going to have the majority Saints fans. So, of course, it's going to be a little robbery. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, they really want to stick it to you because they want to get a reaction. They want to see the pain in your face. They want to see you cry. And I'm like, I'm not going to give you that because it's not that serious. First of all, this is sports. It's all about, just for the love of the game. And that's it. This is not something that, you know, that you can really hurt me about. It's not like you're saying something to me about my children. That's a whole nother thing. But you're talking about a football team. Like, I don't care. I know what you're trying to do. And so when they see that it's not bothering you enough, you know, to mess up your whole day or your whole life, they go and get other people to agree with them. And those people will come up against you as well. Or they know that they can get the people to say things, you know, and they're looking at you because they want to get a reaction. I'm like, you're still not going to get anywhere. I know what you're doing. Might as well stop, because you're not bothering me. You want to bother me, but you can't. And I'm going to end this video at this. The narcissist, you know, okay, your team could go to the Super Bowl and win. And with my team being down in the dumps right now, you will still be unhappy for the simple fact that you don't have me anymore. That's the crazy part about it. And they fail to realize, you know, looking at the worst thing that can happen is, dang, I did all that for nothing, because this person is still happier than me. I'm still in the same position of having these boundaries set up, strict boundaries. And I just still can't have my way with this situation. So it's just like, you do all that for nothing. And I always look at the outcome, whether they win or lose. You still won't have me at the end of the day. You will always still be miserable and unhappy. So just stop. Just stop, because you're wasting your time. So, and even though the narc is not going to stop with the things that they do to try to get to you, I'm just saying, it's like they are insane. You know, they are insane when it comes to the tactic that they use to abuse you. And I don't really even look at that as abuse. I just look at it, well, it can be a form of abuse depending on the topic, depending on the situation. In this situation, it's about a football team. It's about sports. I don't care about it like that. Like, it's not in my heart that deep. It's just not that deep for me. I can see if you're saying something about my children, I'm going to speak up. We're going to get off the subject then. It's not just going to be about work at that point. But I'm still not going to get violent with you. I'm not going to get physical with you unless I'm defending myself. So it's like the narc, no matter what, they still are always going to be on the losing end of a situation with you. That's why it doesn't even make sense to think about like what they're saying. Don't put yourself in a moment so deep and let it affect you to the point that it controls your thinking and it controls the way you react. Don't let what they're doing to you, you know what they're doing, don't let it get to you. Don't let it weaken you to the point where you just can't help but to speak up on it or approach them. It's not that serious. It's really not. And I can even answer the narc and shut them all the way down if they speak badly against my kids. Anything, period. I mean, just anything. So that's all I want to talk about as of today. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.